So if you're thinking about starting your own business and you don't know if you want to have a service-based business or a product-based business, today we're getting into the pros and cons of all of those, but in my opinion, most of the cons of one of those two types of businesses. Let's dive in. My name's Elisa Boyd. This is the Digital Wellness Club podcast, and today I want to get into the pros and cons, or more so my personal opinion on having an online digital service business or a online product business. Now, both are great. You have to do whatever you're passionate about, but I really want to dive into my background of having a physical product that was a big learning curve, and now why I shifted my business over to a digital service business and why I love it. And I'm having so much fun growing my business this way. Whereas with the physical product business, it was a juice company. I was burnt out after a couple of years. So this is my story, and I want to just talk about the big challenges I faced with having that first business. Also, obviously, it was my first business, so it has a lot of ebbs and flows and growing. But what I found the biggest thing was, even going through it, was I kept trying to digitalize my products. In other words, I tried to see more ways I could make money from more of a digital side than actually moving more physical product. And the number one reason for that is that as you sell more of your physical product, your COGS are going to go up, which is your cost of goods sold. So every time we made a bottle of juice, or say you're selling a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, you still have to pay for whatever that product is. Whatever the cost it takes to create that product, that's always going to be there, no matter how many more you produce. You can get bulk, pricing. Like we had bottles, our juice went in, and we could get the bottles for cheaper if we bought more, but that cost was always there. Whereas from a service standpoint, the biggest cost is your time. And if you can create a system, you can use less and less of your time, but there's really no cost upfront going out. So you could create an entire digital business and it cost you essentially nothing. Where if you wanted to test the market for a t-shirt company or apparel or jewelry or body products, you have to invest usually quite a bit of money just to test it out and see if you're going to sell any. And that doesn't even get into making sure that suppliers are there and you can always get things shipped and then paying for shipping, right? In the digital space, you don't have to worry about any of that. So that is probably one of the biggest takeaways I had when I shift from a physical business to a online digital service-based business. Now, what I do these days is I help women start their own online digital service businesses. It's what I love doing. It's what I started doing once I closed my physical shop, and I've never looked back. I've never been able to create wealth and abundance and more alignment than I have with the business that I have now, and that's why I'm teaching people how to do the same thing the way I did. So the next thing that kind of goes with that is, with my online business, I can do it from anywhere. I work from home, but if I'm going on vacation, take my laptop with me. It is that laptop dream, because all you need is a laptop to do your work. And I know with a physical business, you could have a warehouse somewhere else, but if you're just getting started, you probably have supplies and inventory sitting in your house, taking up your space. Or if you have to meet people at markets or, go to the mailbox to deliver stuff, I can make sales from halfway across the country and have that total transaction complete. Whereas if I had to ship things out of my house or package them up, go to the mail, I wouldn't be able to do it. So that's a big thing, is no matter where I am, I can work. Which, sometimes that is a bit of a con, is that you always feel like you should be working. But if you set up some good boundaries, you really have that freedom to work from where you want, when you want, setting up your own hours, which is fantastic. And the third biggest, best thing that I love is I'm a multi-passionate creative person. I always have new ideas, new things I want to try, new way I want things to look. When you have a physical product, changing packaging, branding is expensive and not easy to do. Or having a new product come to market, right? You got to get samples, test it out, see how it goes. Again, this is not for every physical product, but for most, this is what you're going to run into. Where with an online digital service, you could add a new service. I could add a new service in the next 5 minutes, which I just love. And I can start charging people for it and making money off of it. And even digital products, which is very different than physical products, is I could create an ebook and start selling it tomorrow. So the ability to get into the market, your barriers aren't really there, and your ability to change and shift with what your passions will change and shift into is all like at your fingertips, literally, because you have a keyboard and you can just type. So that is why I've become so passionate about almost, and even if you have a physical business, seeing how you can intertwine a digital component to it to give you that freedom away from always having to sell physical products. It has changed my life, and I just want to scream to the rooftops how amazing it is that you can take almost anything that you're passionate about, you love doing. If you can help solve a problem for somebody, you can start your own business with that. So I leave you with that idea of, have you been sitting on an idea, playing around with the idea of doing something online? Let's chat and get your first online service business started.